You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. You're listening to a special broadcast dedicated to remembering Sarah Alarid. Sarah was last seen in the Santa Clarita Valley leaving a New Year's Eve celebration in the wee hours of the morning on January 1st, 2013. Sarah's family initiated a massive search for her involving the media, law enforcement, firefighters, volunteers, social media, and the community at large. For unknown reasons, Sarah's car left the road on Sand Canyon, plummeting a few hundred feet into the hillside. Her silver 2002 Ford Focus was found along with her body on January 9th, 2013. And joining me in studio today are members of Sarah Alarid's family. We have three sisters, Chelsie, Kayla, Brook. We also have two of Sarah's friends joining us in studio today, Brianna and Jordon. Thank you guys for being here. First of all, I want to start off with giving my condolences to you and your family. Today, I would like to have this show be a memorial to your sister and your friend, and really talk about who she was. You know, I know for many weeks now, we've seen the pictures. You know, our hearts were hooked to the story, and you know, feeling the compassion for what you guys are going through in those tough moments. But tell me about Sarah. Who was Sarah? What is Sarah about?
Sarah was about her family, her friends, her music, the things that she liked. You know, everything that was about her. That was Sarah, and that's everything that would represent her. And you know,
her favorites, her TV shows, her concerts that she'd go to, watching her friends play in the garage, like with their bands.
Just Sarah's really close to her friends as well. Like, her friends were her family as well. She'd always want to be with her friends, you know, go places with them, have them over, and be very close to them. She was also very close to her family as well, and her nieces and nephews. She loved them and adored them. She looked up to all of her older sisters.
She sounded like a lot of fun. Like, she was just fun to be around, right?
She always wanted to have fun and just be with everyone that loved her and who she loved. She just needed that comfort. Everyone loved her. She was the best person. Anyone got along with her. Nobody, you know, she was just such a great person.
She's funny and witty.
Very outgoing.
Yeah.
Fearless. My sister didn't fear anything.
A little clumsy.
Yeah.
Very clumsy.
What do you mean by clumsy?
She had a lot of injuries throughout her life.
If there was a flat surface, she could trip over it for sure.
Even, I remember,
scrapes everywhere.
She would fall into ditches.
She would fall if there was nothing to fall over.
Yeah. Which made it funny, right?
Yeah.
You could always laugh at her.
I used to tell her, I'm going to put you in a box.
I heard some bubble wrap.
You're a hazard.
That's awesome. So if you can put a special moment that maybe you've shared with Sarah and that you'd be willing to share with us, what's the one memory that you remember most about her?
I personally have many. There was one, though. My sister was there when my son was born. She was in the delivery room with me and with Rigo. She was really close to my kids. But that was probably the best one because, like, I'm very, like, to myself, so I was like, no, nobody could go in there. And I was like, just Rigo. And then that was with my first daughter. And afterwards, I told Sarah, I was like, do you want to go in there? Do you want to be in the delivery room? She said, yeah. And I was like, well, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But, you know, it was funny because, you know, I was ready to, you know, deliver my son, and she went to go get food. And then I called her, I was like, you have to come right now. I was like, hurry. So she came running in, and then Rigo was like feeling faint, and then she's like, she took over for him. So it was like me and her, you know, and then just, you know, so she got to see like my son being born. And, you know, I have many memories of her, but like I just know that was like a big one.
Absolutely.
You know, because that was such a big part of my life, and, you know, she got to share it with me.
She got to be my maid of honor at my wedding. I got married in Jamaica, so a lot of people couldn't make it, and my sisters, Brooke and Kayla, had just had children, so they couldn't make it since they had small children. So Sarah was the only sister that got to be at my wedding, and she was in my wedding. She was my maid of honor. She got to sign my marriage certificate. You know, that's something, of course, I treasure, but now even more so than ever. And since it was such a small wedding, we just got to hang out all day, and I think it was one of the first times I didn't treat her like she was my baby sister, and she was just a grown-up sister with me, and it was really fun, and I'm really glad she got to come and enjoy it. And I told her when she got out there, she loved to straighten her hair because she has this curly hair. Oh, yeah. And I said, Sarah, like, you can bring your hair straightener, but it's not going to really help too much. And she's like, what do you mean? And the first thing she does when she got out there, she calls me and she's like, why is it so humid? My hair is poofing out everywhere. And it was just like, I told you, but I'm so glad that she got to go out there and enjoy it and spend a week out there. And from what friends have told me, she talked about being in Jamaica. So I'm really glad I got to help her like experience that in her life, and she got to share that day with me and be part of it, because that was really important to me, to have a sister there and be part of something. So that's one of my memories.
I remember we were in maybe 9th grade. We would go dirt bike ridings. It was like probably for New Year's Eve or something. And Sarah would come with us. So we're there. Not that many people are there yet, but the adults went and took a ride. So it was just us kids. And it was getting night, so we started the fire. We're all sitting around by the fire, and rather than Sarah walk around the chairs,
tell it's gonna be funny, right?
She decided to step in front of the chairs and walk to a different seat. But instead of just walking in front of the fire, she steps on a rock, and it's all wobbly, and she fell over and stepped on the coals. She was wearing slippers, so she starts running around and like she's going in circles. Me and my friend think she's just laughing, like, oh, this was so funny. And then she started crying, and I was like, oh, this is serious. And like all the adults were out, so we were like panicking, and we put her in the motorhome, and I looked at it, and the first thing I smelled was burnt toenails. And I was like, oh my god, like I don't know what to do. And then they finally got there, and I was like, dude, you guys need to come in here, like this is serious. And then as soon as they came in, they were like, yeah, we need to go. So we threw her into the one of somebody's truck. I got in the back seat with her. My dad drove us. She was screaming and crying the whole time. She was holding my hand. I didn't have shoes on. We got to the hospital. She was straight into a room. I'm on the phone with Mike and Laura, her parents, as they're driving out to Ridgecrest. I'm on the phone with Laura trying to get down all her information, and she couldn't even talk. You know your mom. Yeah. So then I'm talking to your dad, and he's driving. He's getting mad at me because he's got to concentrate. He's speeding. And then they finally got there, and I just remember the last thing she said was, "Can I go back?" Yeah. And they got mad at her and like, no, you have to come home. And then she was mad because her pillow and her blanket and all that stuff, her straightener was
she
in
can't
the
live
motorhome.
without her straightener.
That was one of the funniest, best times I had with her.
The things that I always remember about my little sister was like every time like she always wanted me to like do her hair and her makeup. She was like my little experiment doll. Like she'd always want me to like dress her up because she didn't really like, she knew how to do her hair, but I think she always liked the way I did mine, so she'd always have me like straighten it and do her makeup. And
that's what little sisters are for, right?
Exactly.
Dress them up, try out stuff on
and
them.
I'd always dress her up, and like, cause my sister never wore makeup, so I'd make her look all glamorous, and I dress her up like in pretty dresses.
Remember photo shoots?
Yeah, and I do pictures of her. Like I take pictures of her, and we'd always sit there and talk in the mirror and straighten our hair together because we both have the same kind of hair, so we just have like long talks in the bathroom and do our hair together.
I remember when we were little, like we all used to dress up like in our best. Yeah. And we would put on a little runway for my mom and dad. We'd make everybody like sit on the couch, and then Chelsie and Brooke would like present us. Yeah. We'd come out, they had like a curtain hung up, and then we'd
she
come
was
out.
This really pretty little cherub baby. She had these
we
curls.
called her a cherub.
Yeah,
she looked like a little angel. She had like tight little blonde golden curls, blue eyes, and
we loved dressing
skin.
her up. And we would dress her up, and we put like sheets on like around our bedroom, so it looked like a little photo shoot, and we would take her picture.
I remember being over there when Kayla was still living at the house, and we would be like sneaking around her room, like using her perfume, and then Kayla would come home and yell at us and kick us out of the room. That was good times.
That's awesome. So listen, we're going to continue to memorialize Sarah Alarid. And you guys also want to make an announcement, and we'll do that towards the end of the show, about services, memorial services for her. So stay tuned for more. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. Welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. You're listening to a special broadcast dedicated to remembering Sarah Alarid. And joining me in studio today are Sarah's three sisters, Chelsie, Kayla, and Brooke. We also have joining us in studio today are her two friends, Brianna and Jordon. Before we went on break, you guys were sharing some pretty amazing stories honoring your sister and your friend. You know, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, what did you learn most about this experience personally? If you could share, what was the biggest lesson you learned?
Me personally, my biggest lesson is that family and friends are everything. They're everything, you know, because we live this life and we tend to just get into a habit of doing the same thing every day. And so this has kind of brought us, you know, out of that rhythm of everyday life, and that, you know, we've been with the family like every day, and it feels really good. And it's just like, I want that more. I want more, like,
You don't want it to go away.
I don't want it to go away. And, you know, I just want the family getting together as much as possible. And
what's the experience? So if you can put a word to the experience that you're having as you guys are really closer, what would you call it? What's the experience that you're talking about? Connected, right? Connected.
Yeah, definitely reconnecting.
Yeah.
How about a deep connection? You feel deeply connected with each other?
Yeah, definitely.
You just feel like you don't want to take things for granted, because you never know when someone or something, you can lose them, you know. And it's just like she said, like, you go about every day living your life and you don't really think these things will happen, and when they do, it's, you know, it's really traumatizing. Like, this is something I've never had to, I've dealt with death before, but never like this. Never is somebody this close to me in my life. This is something I'll always remember.
We're also learning how to recommunicate with each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're, you know, there's little things we're finding out about each other. I mean, it's my sister definitely, and each other. That's just like, gosh, you know, like, I can't believe I didn't know this. Like, it took this event to find out that my sister and I love the same music. We have a lot of the same bands in common, and it's really, really sucks that this is how I had to find that out. We're learning how to talk as our sisters. We're learning how to talk to each other. We're talking to her friends, and, you know, I'm 9 years older than Sarah, so I always saw her, you know, Sarah and you guys as, you know, little. So you guys are grown-ups to me now, and
All the little stuff, like all the petty little fights, that don't matter no more, because this is bigger. You know what I mean?
That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
we also realize, like, you know, because we've lived in Santa Clarita, like, you know, mostly our whole lives, and
Sarah's whole life.
yeah, and I just, like, realized, like, how much the community comes together.
Yeah,
you know?
you never realize how many good people are out there till now.
Yeah, it seems like it's more of like a smaller town, you know, impacted by such a big thing, and everybody just comes together and you just share the love.
And that's
with, like,
an amazing
everybody.
experience.
Yeah, that's a huge humbling experience.
And it also sees how much one person can affect everybody. We're seeing people we haven't seen since we were small children.
Or just strangers reaching out to you.
Or we're meeting people that, like, your sister went to the same school as my kids, and, or, you know, I work at the school your sister went to, and it's really affecting everybody. Everybody has just
been touched one way or another.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know personally, on Saturday night, I was part of the search on Saturday with my two daughters and my wife, and later on that night, it opened up a very powerful and deep, meaningful conversation that we all had at dinner. And, you know, we started to talk about what happens if you don't come back overnight, or what happens if you're in that period where because there's a window between I just want to goof around and go an extra couple hours, but what happens when you're past that period? And we really started to create a game plan to set each other up to win. And I think that there's little mini lessons that not only you guys learn, but everybody can take an opportunity to.
Well, I mean, a big thing is definitely let people know where you're going
or what route.
Just
always keep in touch with somebody, so somebody
send
knows
a text
where you're
message real quick saying I'm on my way home, or I'm gonna go Starbucks real quick. Just whatever you're doing, just let somebody know, because
it doesn't have to be your parents. Just at least
a friend, somebody. Because to go through this for 9 days is probably just as traumatizing as the outcome that we were led to. Yeah.
Now, will you guys start practicing that? Will you guys start implementing that in your own life? And
of course.
Yeah.
I've already been telling my son.
Started. I mean,
I knew I used to get really mad at my mom. She would text me every hour, where are you, where are you? And now it's I'm hoping for her to text me, where are you? I'm glad to tell her where I am and who I'm with and when I'm coming home.
Because no matter at the end of the day, we know that our family and our friends have our back, because even though you feel I can't
afraid to
text,
tell.
You're afraid because, you're going out with your friends, but at the end of the day, after this, at the end of the day, no matter what, they'll have your back regardless.
It's important that you're safe.
Yeah.
Better than what you are doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. One of the things that, talking about that experience on Saturday, I was really impressed with your family and your commitment to find your sister, and just looking back at it and just watching how you guys stepped up, and you guys kind of really played at a whole nother level that I don't think I've seen anyone in any community that I've lived in rise to that level. And I think that when you guys did that, whether it was following your dad's lead and just everybody getting on the same page, is what causes the rest of the community to step up and want to play at that level. And I just want to acknowledge you guys for really doing that. That was pretty incredible.
Because we didn't want to let her down.
It wasn't an option.
Yeah. No. I think a lot of that has to go, the thanks has to go to my dad, because since we were little, he's instilled those, values and morals into us, and they kicked in overdrive, and, and
one of the biggest compliments I got was you have more of your dad than you think. And I'm just well, that was great to hear, because
it was also good for us because we were able to help support my mom too in those ways. We were able to be,
she saw our family come together and, look for my sister.
Not just the family, her friends.
Yeah.
All her friends came in there and they hugged her and helped her, and it wasn't about it was about finding her, and that was the priority. There was no option of not letting this come to any type of end.
Yeah.
We were going to find her.
Yeah.
And everybody made sure that happened.
And we all made sure we were on the same page regardless of our thoughts and our decisions or anything. We had a game plan every day.
That's awesome.
We woke up with that game plan every morning and executed it.
Yeah. And we always joked that my dad was
on the same
debriefing
page.
the family. So
like I said, I think that was just an incredible. You guys set the standard really for.
We were like an investigative team.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think you guys taught us as a community how to play to win, and I think that you guys are a championship family, and only championship families make statements like that. That there's no other option, right? It's just 100% committed to finding her and bringing her back, and you guys did that. You guys also took advantage of the social media, which was pretty incredible.
That's the first thing we did.
So. My next question is what does social media mean to you now after that experience?
Well, I mean, because I was the first one to put the information out there in the first few days of,
Well, even before that, we were getting in contact with a lot of her friends. We were going on her Facebook page and who's her friend and contacting
and my Facebook was actually deactivated till this happened. And, I always thought to myself, I never really used Facebook to, talk to friends or anything like that. But I always said Facebook is great for advertising something so traumatic like this, getting the word out, and that's why I reactivated mine to spread the word.
We jumped on it. We utilized that source as much as we could.
Because we're source. We grew up with technology, so we're aware of how effective it is. So we're once you, it's like once you light something, the fire spreads, So you put it on Facebook, and then everybody shares it, their friends share it, and then all of a sudden, you have family that live all over the country, and they're sharing it.
People in Australia sharing it, Japan.
Well, I got to tell you that I think that because you're so young and you have that experience and you knew that, you're teaching some of the older people that don't realize it, that they're starting to now, their ears are starting to peak and really look at that and see how powerful, Facebook or any of these, Twitter or any of these other social media sites can really help you and support you in that.
Yeah, it was also very helpful because, when we were putting our meetings together and, we were passing out the flyers, people would come to the car and they're like, okay, what's the new update for the next day? And I was like, just check the Facebook page,
We had it constantly updated.
And we had a place that everyone can go to, everyone can look at. I mean, my Uncle Sean and Aunt Becky were great about making sure that thing was updated every day, every second.
Posts, if there was answering questions.
If there was an update, they threw it on there as soon as they could. So, I mean, it really helped us get the word out there. It wasn't, a telephone tree anymore. It was right there for you to see, and all you had to do was check it.
Yeah, it was.
I also got to tell you that you guys were also ahead of a lot of the media news sources because you're getting stuff real time. And it sounds like to me that a lot of the media outlets have to double check and confirm before they even post anything. So you guys are right there on the scene getting people that are responding, hey, I saw this, or hey, this is happening. You guys are right there just kind of in the mix, flushing some of that stuff up.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, once the media got involved, it was extremely helpful. We're very humbled by his, putting her name out there to help us. And
they're very cooperative with us, and following us.
And they're really good to us, and their main focus was trying to find her.
Yeah,
and that everybody was in the same frame mind. Let's find Sarah. Let's find her, and it was a big help for us, to get that out there.
So talk to me about the rest. Like taking a break and sleeping, and
it didn't happen.
No rest.
No rest.
There was no rest. It was
We're wondering why
you fell asleep because your eyes didn't stay open, and you slept for maybe an hour or 2 hours, and you were up and
again.
you were checking Facebook. You were making phone calls. You were sending emails, and then as soon as daylight hit, you were back outside handing out flyers, driving around.
All the time
and then that was the worst, especially when it came to nightfall. We would.
You had to stop. You had to stop looking.
Yeah,
and it was the worst feeling.
That was the worst feeling because we're right here, and she can be anywhere.
I honestly didn't want to go to sleep.
No,
I just wanted to keep anything I can think of. Write it down. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, and we have to be very thankful to our family for coming out, and because we all have children, and they came out and helped us with their children, so we were able to accomplish trying to find her and take care of them at the same time. So that was a big help with that, because our children are extremely important to us.
Give me that license plate number one more time.
4WXE737.
It's memorized in my brain, and I still look. I'm still driving around looking for that.
We see a Ford Focus driving down the street, and our heart just stops.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly. And I think that we're not the only ones. There's probably hundreds, if not a couple thousand people out still, got their eyes out, which might be good for the community because I believe that it takes a village to really raise a family and look out for each other. And we should be doing that. We should be having our eyes scanning to see what's going on and not just living in this, walking around in life with blinders on, but really looking out for each other. And, if we see something that's not right, we should make phone calls, right, to the authorities.
Yeah.
Yep. Always watch your surroundings.
You could save somebody's life by doing that. You could
save your own life.
You could save your own life. I mean, you could save something that could happen in the future, by all of us just looking out for each other.
Exactly. And how about sitting back just hoping that somebody saw something that morning? Like, you're sitting there thinking, there has to be people out there in that morning, early in the morning, if they just saw something, if they could just jog their memory.
Yeah.
Make a phone call.
Oh, we asked everybody.
Any little lead we got, we jumped on it.
Didn't matter what it was.
But nothing
didn't make sense. We were on it.
We were all out there every day.
That's awesome.
We didn't question it. We didn't let it go. We made sure and followed up.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to continue to memorialize Sarah Alarid today, so stay tuned for more. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. Today we have a special broadcast dedicated to remembering Sarah Alarid, and joining us in studio are her three sisters, Chelsie, Kayla, and Brook, along with her two friends, Brianna and Jordon. And before we went on a break, we were talking a little bit about the experience and all that kind of stuff. Tell me what were some of her passions? What was her goals? What were some of her dreams? What does she want to be? That question they asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? What were some of the things that she was committed to?
She was still at that age where she still was like kind of
trying to figuring it out.
Figuring herself out. She just graduated high school, so she was just coming of age, like trying to figure things out. But she did have motivation to do a lot of things.
She was just all about having fun, being with her friends,
She wanted to make everyone
laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a good place to be at, right? Especially at 19.
Yeah, but she did have goals in life.
Definitely that transition into adulthood. You asked her, she was a grown-up. You asked my parents, she was a kid. But, you're 19.
I remember one day me and her were working on all her job applications and I was trying to help her with, trying to go find a job, which is normal, for her age. And, she asked me, she's like, can you help me? And so we were just working on that all day. And, those were the steps that she was taking in order to...
I got her a job at my work. It was just temping, but she was doing that for a little while, and then... the temping job was over, so
she got a feel for it.
That, though. She went out. She called me. She's like, "What do I need to put on my desk? Like, do I need pens? Like, do I need a folder?" So she went out and got all that stuff. And I remember on our breaks we would go out.
I remember my mom went to go buy her new clothes for her
work clothes.
Work clothes.
Clothes. Her holy T-shirts.
No, I told her no holy jeans. We have to dress professionally.
Yeah, if you have an image of Sarah, we all have an image of exactly how she
to get that paycheck, though.
Oh, yeah.
When she got that paycheck, my mom's like, she's not saving it. I'm a mom. It's her first paycheck.
I told my mom.
I didn't save my first paycheck.
Mine went real quick, so.
At the candlelight vigil, your mom said something that was very profound and very powerful, and it touched me, and I know it probably inspired a lot of other people. But she said something like, Sarah, she was speaking to Sarah. She was saying, Sarah, this is all for you.
Yep.
What do you think Sarah would be saying throughout this whole last 2 weeks and everything that's been happening? If you could put words to it, what would you think she'd be saying?
I don't think she understood how many people are out there who love her and care for her and went to that extra mile to be with her once again.
I think she'd be so happy. I think she'd be happy to see all the love that she got. Surprise.
She'd be there in the front row.
Yeah.
Singing along.
Yeah, that was great. The singing was great. It was so Sarah.
Yeah.
It was her song.
I felt her presence there, like with the balloons, letting the balloons go. And
someone pulled out a guitar, and it was just like, oh my gosh, she so loved it.
It's just the perfect moment, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with everyone's asking me, does it feel weird to be at Sarah's house without Sarah there? And I'm like, no, not at all. There. And I used to get nervous to go to her house because there was always yelling and everyone's all frustrated with each other. And now I feel like her friends plus her family equals Sarah.
Yeah.
And we're all together all the time now.
There was a night that Brianna and a bunch of her friends came over just this past week, and you could...
It felt like Sarah was sitting in the room with us.
I mean, Kayla and I were sitting on the couch with them, and we were
all just hanging out.
We were just talking
eating,
and goofing around and sharing Sarah's stories.
It was so much fun, and we wouldn't do that normally if she was still with us, and we're just hang out with your sisters. What? Why would we do that?
So that brings me to my next question, which is, do you believe Sarah's still here?
Oh yeah.
And she's here.
And if so, is she listening?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's laughing at us right now.
And if so, here's your moment to say whatever you want to say to her, because I believe that this recording, because we're recording it, is probably going to outlive us, and it's probably going to outlive our kids. What do you want to say to Sarah?
I would just want to say, Sarah, I love you. You were my best friend. You always will be. I want you to stay close. You're always going to be here. You're always going to be in my heart. Just stay close.
Don't go far.
I'll see you soon.
I just want to tell my sister that I love her and I miss her deeply.
Tell her. She's listening.
And Sarah, and I know you're a strong person. I know wherever you're at, you're going to be strong. You're going to watch over all your nieces and nephews, over all your sisters, over all your friends. And I just hope that you're happy, you're in a good place wherever you're at. And, just know that, like they say, the good die young. So
I would like to tell my sister that I love you and that I will make sure that no matter what, I will keep your memory alive in my children, because I knew they meant everything to you, and that I will constantly talk about you every single day, no matter what. I'll show them pictures of you every day, and I'll go in your room as much as I can and lay on your bed with your black blanket that you would never share with anybody.
So bad at that. Purple.
And your purple one and your blue one. And I'll go in there and I'll have all the kids come in there and tell them to get out just like you did. And that, that I love you and that you meant everything to me. And that I'll make sure I'll get a tattoo because you'll be there with me when I do it, because we had that in common, we love tattoos and we'd always talk about it, and you'll be there with me when I get it done, and I know you'll help me get through the pain of getting it done, and that, I love you.
I tell you, Sarah, that I just love you so much. I miss you. I hate that I live so far away and not getting to see you every single day. I treasure the last hug I had from you so much, and I can still feel it. I love that you got to at least, thanks to Skype and everything, you got to see, your niece and meet her, and you got to meet Logan and play with him, and I'm so glad that you got to hug him, and I will never, ever, ever let them forget who you are and how amazing you were. You're always going to be my sister. You're always going to be my baby. You're my little Sarah Bear, and I miss you. I miss you so much. I miss you so, so much. And every time I go to a concert or listen to music, I'm just going to think about you and just feel you right there next to me. I love you so much.
Sarah, I just want to thank you for being that big sister that I never had. And now, hanging out with your sisters, I realize you needed a little sister to beat on because they beat on you so much. I want to say, thank you for all that you did for me. Picked me up from school, random stuff. You're always there for me, and we're always there for everyone. And I'm so sorry that this is happening. And just don't go far. Stay with us, protect us, and we need you. And you'll be in our prayers.
Wow, pretty incredible. Thank you guys for that. How are your parents?
Well, it's not easy to lose a child, I'm sure.
No, absolutely, for sure.
It's the parents' worst nightmare. So just like we're trying to get through it, and just
they're doing the same.
Have a good memory of Sarah, and just not move past it, but just try to move on and just think positively of how Sarah impacted our lives.
So you guys are in the sharing mode, a lot of,
yes.
Getting to that point where you're sharing and
the positives. We want to look at all the positives.
Sure. Yeah, we're just trying to be there for our mom and dad, and then, also let them have their time to grieve, and help them in any way we can during this week and this time.
Is their baby.
Yeah, my sister was their baby,
spoiled rotten.
Yeah.
Spoiled. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. I'm the oldest and she was the youngest, and it was just like, my mom would be like, oh, Sarah's doing this. I'm like, what? I was never allowed to do that.
I would always tell them I'm the black sheep.
No.
You must be the middle child, right?
Yes.
Me and
the
her
middle youngest.
Yeah, she's
definitely spoiled by my parents.
in the best way, though.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, we all spoiled her.
Yeah, she was the baby.
We all went to Disneyland once, and it was a time all four of us were together, and she was so frustrated with us by the end of the day because we had each separately gone, are you all right? Are you hungry? Are you okay? And, you know, she was like, they all treat me like a baby.
She'd get mad when we call her the baby sister.
Even our friends would spoil her. You know, she would even go to our friends for things, you know.
This has also impacted, like, all our friends our age. Like, they all thought of her like a little sister.
Yeah. Right. She sounds very charming.
Yeah.
What's the one piece that you have of her, maybe one of her things you want to share what that would be?
Well, we do have a necklace that, you know, she would always wear, like, every day. So we know that that necklace meant a lot to her.
Yeah, and every day I've been wearing this one red and black kind of jacket coat she wears kind of thing. And
I think we've seen that in the photos, right?
The jacket was great because it was my grandfather's. Yeah. And it means so much that she loved it so much because he was the first death in our family, and she was a little too young to fully remember him, and it was great how much she loved that jacket. And
I love the fact that I can go through my room anytime and find something of hers. It's another thing to add to my box, our best friend box we've had since junior high. And it's just like I can always look, and there's always going to be something there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, her slippers.
Oh, man.
And, I mean, this is weird because, like, I haven't really been home to my house because, you know, I've been with my mom and dad every day, and I went home the other day, and her Ugg boots are I found them in my garage from Christmas because, you know, I got her some new slippers for Christmas, and she changed into her whole pajama set that I bought her, and I found her boots. And, you know, and I was like, whose boots are these?
I found a belt. The last time I was out here was almost a year ago. And I found a belt that I had left here, and she had adopted. And I was like, hey, this is my belt. And my mom was, oh, yeah, no, that's Sarah's now. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
She had a lot of accessories. Yeah. She loved her piercings. She loved her tattoos.
Yeah, we were hanging out in her room, and I just one by one saw my shirt, my sunglasses.
It's a girl thing, you know.
She can do it in my room too.
When we were younger, we'd all go into each other's rooms before school and steal clothes. And
well, even the baby sister, if you're ever missing anything, go to her room, right?
Yeah.
We would still go in her room, spray her perfumes. Oh, she has a million body splashes.
Yeah, for the longest time, me and her shared a room. Yeah, oh my God, we were the two that shared the room, so it's like all our stuff was always together. And
yeah, I think I might have some of your stuff too.
Yeah.
All right, well, stay tuned for more. We're going to continue to memorialize Sarah Alarid. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to a special broadcast dedicated to remembering Sarah Alarid. And if you're just joining us, we are actually recording this, and you'll be able to download the podcast probably within the next hour or so. And then later on tonight, hopefully we're going to have up a YouTube video so that you can watch it in its entirety. And, you know, I'm sitting with the family of Sarah Alarid, 3 sisters and the 2 friends. You know, it's funny because as we're sitting here, even in the break, and we're talking about her, and you keep saying that you feel like she's here, her energy is absolutely here. It's you guys are keeping her alive by sharing the stories and really connecting to each other, and I feel that, and I just wanted to just kind of let you know that, you know, I appreciate you guys coming in today.
Yeah.
So do you feel the same energy and the same connectedness bringing you together?
Definitely feel her presence.
Every
here
time
with
you
us.
talk about it, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know she's here.
Yeah.
She's here.
It's really funny because everybody's been telling me, they're like, you sound just like her.
Oh, yeah.
You look just like her. Yeah. And I'm just like...
Yeah, everyone, when I was handing out flyers, like, are you her sister? Because they say we all resemble her.
Well, on Saturday, my daughters were like, they're talking about her sister. Her sister was there, and I was like, who was her sister? I'm like, come on. She looked just like her, and it sounded just like her.
We all hear it all the time. Yeah. Like, oh, you're an Alarid girl, aren't you? Yeah, we definitely get it.
Everybody would call it, and when everybody calls us at home and one of us answers, they have to go through the line. They're like, who? We're just like, who is this? Because we all sound so much alike.
I was doing an impression of her for one of her friends, and he's like, if I didn't look at you doing that, I'd be like, Sarah just walked in the room. And so we all sound a lot alike.
When you guys say, God, man. All of you. Even your mom. You don't know who said it.
I've always heard people say, before I go and leave this earth, I hope that I make a difference, or I hope I teach somebody something. What could you say that you learned from Sarah? What did Sarah teach you in her lifetime?
Love your family. Times get tough, but those are the ones that you need to stick by. Your friends are always going to be there. Just don't forget who loves you.
Yeah, I mean,
Sarah always taught me to be very strong. Like, I always admired her for that, but Sarah's very strong and courageous. Like I said, she's very fearless of any situation. So she definitely, in that way, impacted me and, made me feel like not to fear anything in life and be a strong person.
Yeah, I would say my sister taught me to just sometimes let things flow and let the good times roll, like.
It's okay to stay a kid a little. It's okay to stay a kid. Being a kid is okay. It's, I think one thing is a lot of people try to grow up too fast, and Sarah was able to have fun,
Yeah.
In her stocking there were little,
my sister was a big kid at heart.
And she liked being with her niece and nephews because she got to be a big kid
and play with their toys.
Yeah.
Love watching The Walking Dead.
It's okay to be a kid and hold on to that.
Yeah.
And it just made her so much fun to be around because you forgot about your stresses. You just got to
have fun.
Yeah.
Sarah just loved to have fun.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the key distinctions about being fulfilled in life is to remember to have fun.
Exactly.
You're gonna have ups and downs, right? It's gonna get tough. But the question is are you having fun in those tough times?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. And you guys are definitely having fun today. And
I feel like wherever she is right now or whatever she's doing, she's probably making it fun.
Of course.
And everyone around her is probably having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And singing, right? You said she likes to sing.
She'd like to try to sing. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But she's gonna love music.
Yeah, she's gonna get really mad right now when I say this. But when she was little, her routine, she used to like Britney Spears.
I saw the video.
Yeah. So we would all be watching TV, and like she would stop us, and like we'd have to turn the TV off
because she would have a routine.
Yeah, and she would practice her routine and her concert in her bedroom, and she would come out and she would make us turn everything off. Everybody had to come in and sit down, and she would put on the show for us.
We had to watch routine.
Yeah, she loved music when she was younger too. Like
she loved it when she was older.
Yeah,
that was her life.
The music changed, but there's some that stayed the same. Thanks to like parental influences, but she always loved music.
And I noticed during this time, because she made a playlist, and we found her playlist, and all of us have been just listening to it in the car like every day.
Yeah, I can't. It's getting really hard to listen to it.
Yeah,
each and every song will make you cry.
It's her.
It describes
it definitely
it's her.
Defines Sarah.
Yeah, and there's this one song we've just been listening to, and it was her favorite song, and she lived by that song.
Yeah,
it was her favorite.
We don't stop playing it. It's just you feel her so much when you play it.
Yeah. She's sitting right next to you.
One of the definitions of having a memorial is really to help us find meaning after the physical separation or the loss or death of a loved one. And I think it's natural to go through that process and to cry and to let it go. And so how's that been? Has it been obviously it's a tough time for you right now?
It's hard.
Do you feel a healing? Do you feel releasing and letting go?
Sometimes I feel like,
Not yet.
It's too surreal right now.
Yeah. A lot of it's too surreal.
Like, I honestly still feel like she's gonna come walking with her backpack and her computer.
Hey guys,
to my mom's house.
What's up?
And then like you go in her room and everything's exactly the same. Like she just left it, and it's just weird. And it's just all the family's been around right now, so it's just that's what I'm saying. When everybody leaves, that's when we're really gonna feel like her presence.
Once we stop being busy and planning stuff, I think we've been talking to each other, and
we've been super busy.
But I think through the stories and pictures, like we can keep her. And all her memories keep her alive. You know what I mean?
Are you guys collecting a lot of photos and stuff's coming in?
So many photos.
I
pulled my old computer out from junior high, and I was amazed by the pictures that I found.
Yep.
Like,
what school does she go to?
She went to Canyon and OFL.
Okay.
Yeah. Sierra Vista,
and Sulphur Springs.
And she still has friends all the way back from elementary school that she's still friends with.
Yeah.
This says a lot about her, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, she loved her friends.
She always she was a black belt.
She was a brown belt.
Brown belt.
But she always told people I know Taekwondo.
Yeah, she tried to show me her
moves.
Yeah, but
hey, she was good. I'm telling you, she was good. She knew her stuff.
She liked to use me as her dummy. Yeah,
because we used to use her as our dummy when we were
payback, right?
Payback.
Yeah. So tell me about some of the events you guys have coming up. Because yesterday you guys had the Chili's fundraiser,
which went really. Yeah, a lot of people showed up to that.
Yeah, we would like to thank Chili's extremely
and everybody
and the community that came out and helped. It was so humbling, and it felt really good seeing everybody, you know, and giving them hugs.
Old friends came.
Yeah,
everyone came together.
There's another event coming up that her friends are putting together.
Yeah, it's a benefit show. She loved her bands and the local bands that we all created, and she loved going to the show, so we're going to put on a benefit show, you know. It's going to be like $5 to get in if you want. Like, we're going to have T-shirts made, and you can get some T-shirts. You can donate. You know, we do need porta potties. We need, like, stuff. It's actually on Sierra Highway. The address is 15408 Sierra Highway, Santa Clarita Valley, California, 91390.
And what day is that going to be on?
That's going to be on this Saturday.
This coming Saturday. At what time?
It's going to start at 5. Absolutely no drugs, no alcohol is not tolerated at all.
Good for you.
Yeah, we're trying to support, you know, that kind of.
For sure. All right, so this Saturday night at that address, at what time?
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. And they can get that information also on your website,
Facebook.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where'sSarahAlarid.com. Mm-hmm. And then it's only one S, is that correct?
Yes. Wait.
Where'sSarahAlarid.com.
Yeah.
All right, and then you can, you know, if you're missing any portion of this, we're recording it, so you'll have a podcast to go back and listen to probably in the next hour or so, and then later on tonight we're going to be putting this video up on YouTube, and then memorial services. Do you want to announce that?
Yeah, we've been working really hard on trying to get something put together, and we have her services scheduled for this Saturday, the 19th. At the Real Life Church. We like to make them open to the public. The service will take place from 11 to 1. Immediately following, there will be a reception with refreshments and hors d'oeuvres, and that will take place at the same location until 3.
And then the benefit show right after.
And then the benefit show afterwards.
So we'll just be all together all day.
Now, for people that want to send cards, I know you have this information on the website. Where would they send that to?
To the Real Life Church. That's where we have an address on the website, which I don't have at the top of my head. I'm sorry.
But they can go to the Where'sSarahAlarid.com.
They can go to the Facebook page or website to send cards. If you choose to send flowers, we're asking you to send them to the church.
For the memorial.
For the memorial. You know, we would like to see people there.
And the donations can still be made at Where's Sarah Alarid.
There's a PayPal account still set up for that.
Still any donations.
All right, sounds good. Hey, listen, I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here today. You guys did an amazing job honoring your sister and your friend. I've all along said that, you know, when I first found out what was going on, I have 2 daughters, my own teenage daughters, and it hit me really hard, and I could not sleep knowing that you and your father were out looking for your sister. And I think that the community has decided and believes that Sarah is our sister, our daughter, and our friend, of course. And so thank you again for being here. It's such an honor.
Yeah, and we'd also like to, thank everybody that has came together and helped us.
Yeah, the community support has been amazing.
Has been amazing.
An extended family.
Definitely.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of Life Leadership with Alex Urbina. Never forgetting Sarah Alarid, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.